a thread by Rex at social.quodverum.com. The Kraken is a game-changing MOAB. Anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't understand how significant Powell's filing is. Please let me explain. Link in the thread to the lawsuit. Rex continues. First, forget the spelling errors. This is a classic Trump method of creating interest in the enemy and Normie's camp, aka Streisand effect. It's working. Second, don't fall into the trap of thinking the court papers are written for you. You and I are not judges. Our expectations about what should or should not be in the filing are irrelevant. The documents are written for judges. They're also written for the public. But perhaps just as importantly, they're written for the criminals behind this disgraceful crime. More on that in a sec. Third point, and again, ignore fake news and ignore our own doomers, particularly the latter crowd. Powell could show video evidence of Biden personally ordering the steal, they'd still not be satisfied. Focus on the content of the filing. It is mind-blowing. Not just that, each allegation is backed up with evidence. Also, notice, some of the exhibits have been sealed, not for public view. And more exhibits are coming. Fourth point, get the context right. The Kraken filing is not being made in a vacuum. It isn't a one-off filing in Georgia. It is part of a widespread effort in the courts across America, combined with state Senate hearings to expose the worst crime in U.S. history. The corruption at local and state level is being exposed 24/7. Kraken adds in the federal level, especially CIA, the role of foreign actors and the role of Dominion and Smartmatic. Have you noticed that Powell's allegations corroborate Team Trump's allegations, as well as Lynn Wood's, as well as the other private lawsuits and vice versa? Massive fraud everywhere. Impossible for a judge to ignore, let alone a reasonably objective citizen. It's also important to keep something else in mind. Point 5. Powell has a low burden of proof. Those of you thinking, but what if Powell can't prove it 100%? Have it exactly wrong. This isn't the movies. The preponderance of evidence is the standard. This filing meets that standard. The burden now shifts to the defendants, who must now disprove it. Can they? Hell no. Why? They know it's true. That's why. All the key players know exactly what happened and what's happening. The pretend president and his cronies know they have been caught dead to rights, as do all the rats. Trump knows that he has the sons of bitches by the cojones too. So does Powell and the other patriots, including a certain Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, by the way. What a shame that Emmett Sullivan has managed to legally gag him. Oh, that's changed, hasn't it? Why, yes, yes, it has. Point 6. Don't forget to analyze the response of those in the crosshairs. It is revealing. The pretend president and his cronies aren't denying the allegations, nor, to my knowledge, have any of the defendants. Because they can't. No one is taking defamation actions in outrage because they can't. The pretend president looks feeble and small when he speaks, as if he is being punched in the guts 24/7, which he is. His apparatchiks look haggard. Jake Sullivan looked like a ghost the other day. These are not people who have won an election, are they? No. No, they are not. They look like people who have committed a crime and who know they're caught and who are trying to gaslight their way to January 20th, 2021, because that's their only choice. That's how I see it. They're in denial. Their power rests on the ability of their fake news assets to legitimize the fraud and keep the normies asleep. They need to keep the lie alive. Unfortunately for them, Trump broke the hold of fake news a long time ago. And the Kraken is an almighty blow that will shatter their delusions. We are awake and we are watching. The criminals now get to star in their own tragedy. Enjoy the show, and God bless Sidney Powell, MAGA.